I'm Eric Loy, and welcome to Eric Loy Interviews. On this podcast, we talk with folks from the VTuber community on their channels, their talents, their stories, where they come from, and their plans for the future. We welcome Canna Beth. Hi.
Hello.
Hey, is it true that it's still illegal to talk to you in some states?
I think it's frowned upon, but usually there's a lot of looking the other way.
Thanks so much for coming on. I appreciate it. If you could introduce yourself to everybody.
Yes, hello. My name is Canna Beth, the Herb Cat. I am a cannabis advocate and voice actor, variety streamer, and overall entertainer, making all kinds of things for the internet.
Oh, wow. When did you get started with your internet career?
I've been on the internet in various fashions throughout my life, but this particular VTubing journey, I started only about a year and a half ago.
Was it just you found out about VTubers and wanted to give it a shot?
Yeah, I'd been a fan of VTubers for a while. I've been following people like Iron Mouse, Buff Pup, Rose Doodle, and I was like, you know what? That's a great way to express yourself in a way that is new and foreign to me, and I wanted to give it a try.
Following those three, you're definitely going to find out how to express yourself.
For sure.
Very little is off limits. But so you've kind of been okay with coming on the internet. So did you not have a whole lot of butterflies when you started off?
No. I have been in entertainment for a while. I was a professional singer in a few different bands. I went to university for voice training and things like that. So I'm not exactly unfamiliar with the stage atmosphere.
Well, I was gonna mention about the voice because it's really awesome. I think
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, it's different. It's got that lower timbre to it, and that'll rumble your speakers every once in a while. It's very good. So
I like to cause a stir.
there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that. Sometimes that's the only way to get noticed is to stir it up a little bit. So when you're on with the VTuber stream, when you got started, how did you get your model and everything set up?
My model is actually a gift. A friend of mine also recently got into VTubing, and I was using a pretty basic little PNG tuber when I first started, but a friend of mine had invested money into a customizable model and invested a little bit more so I could get one, and they were nice enough to gift one to me. With a little bit of financial payback eventually for me.
Yeah, well, I mean that's a good start. I mean that's
Yeah,
that
I have some extremely generous and kind friends. So I'm very lucky.
Yes, that's a very good thing to have. Generous and kind. I'll ask my friends to take note of that. Generous and kind is good. You might get something back if you do something. No, they're always good for me. So what is the difference for you, since you have all the experience in being a VTuber, and what is its draw for you?
For me, it drew me in because I've always been a fan of animation, cartoons, art in general, and I loved how there was just so many different ways people could express themselves through the medium. And I saw VTubing as the perfect opportunity to blend the streaming world that I was already a little bit familiar with and the voice acting animation world that I so desperately wanted to become more of a part of. And it seemed just like the perfect blend of the two. And I thought it'd be a great way to exercise those muscles again.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. I have to say that, I did radio for a long, long, long time, more longer than most people are alive. And, there was a draw afterwards when I left. And then that's one of the reasons why I'm doing this is because I just liked having a microphone in front of me and talking to people.
Yeah.
You just don't not do that after a while. Can you? And and then you end up doing questions in your head for people. You don't get
Uh-huh.
you don't get answers that way. Well, usually, um, when it happens. But so for you, this is almost kind of a natural extension for you. It's another communications bridge for you to cross.
Yeah, it felt very natural.
Yeah.
I dabbled in some streaming far before my VTubing career,
Hmm.
and really enjoyed it. But as I went on, I felt like I wasn't expressing myself in the ways I would like to, or like really kind of flexing those creative muscles in ways
Mm.
that just didn't seem as obvious to me at the time, I guess.
Mm. Well, it's
uh,
a lot of people say that given the chance to have this avatar gives you a chance to let your guard down a little bit more.
Yeah, absolutely,
Mm.
absolutely.
Yeah.
When you're not as when you're not as focused about your real life face and how you're squinting and grunting at the camera all the time, it's a lot better to have a little cartoon face and like, oh, the little cartoon's angry. That's so cute.
That would, if I was the head of a band, that's all I would do is squint and grunt in front of the band. I would have
Oh,
been
I've definitely had a lot of that in my time.
I'd be back in the punk scene in the 70s with that.
Heck yeah. I was in a punk metalcore band for a number of years,
Oh,
uh,
cool.
where I would do the clean vocals, and we
Hmm.
had a screamer right beside me, so we
Ah, there you go. I,
dual fronted that
I,
band.
I
It
was
was
gonna
great.
I was gonna ask, how do you still talk after that?
Yeah, no, I had very good vocal training in school, and have learned to take care of my voice. I have not learned yet how to metal scream properly, even
uh,
though I think that would be very fun.
it would be
The closest
cool.
I've ever gotten is the grindcore pig squeal.
That's not quite the same, but still pretty good.
Not quite the same.
Yeah, I tell people all the time because a lot of people who are doing this with microphones, this is the first time they've had to use their voice this way. Um, Talk constantly for 3 hours.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not what the vocal cord was meant to do. If
it it definitely is not a it's not an endeavor that a lot of first time VTubers I think are ready for,
Mhm.
and it is definitely a practiced skill.
Mm, yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah, and
It takes a lot of discipline and fortitude and knowing how to properly rest your voice even when you are in the middle of something as intense as an ongoing stream.
oh yeah, yeah. There's shortcuts around literally everything. That's how I got to this age.
Oh yeah.
So I just skipped over the 40s and went right to the 50s. That was the easy way to do that. But the there's short term things. One of my favorite short term things is just a slushy.
Oh,
If your voice is scratchy and your throat's hurting a little bit, put the ice on it, and the best way to do that is a slushy. Um,
slushies can be a great relief.
hmm
I usually try to keep colder beverages
hmm
for like post stream
hmm
when I'm like kind of coming down from everything.
Right.
During activities, I try to keep it like room temperature water or like a warm tea or something with me.
Yeah. Yeah. Because you don't want if you're doing it as you're talking, you're going to get the constriction if you use
Right.
the cold. But if you do it before or right afterwards, before will take that little extra pain out of your voice.
Mhm.
I've did that so many times with sore throats before I went on the air, and it gave me 45 minutes to an hour of a talk show each time.
There
Um,
you
and
go.
that's all you need at that point. By then, you'll sound like Satan on a bender. Afterwards, it makes a lot of difference. But the generally taking care of your voice something. I imagine you learned that as you were getting the vocal training.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. I had very good teachers at my university, and really nice peers. I ended up rooming with a bunch of other vocal majors, and we would all try to keep tabs on each other, bring each other water. We'd often go to the practice rooms as a group and all split off to different rooms. It was a good time.
in the where you were staying, I imagine the neighbors are like, "Why is there three-part harmony constantly coming from that room?"
There were a couple of impromptu a cappella concerts. I won't
Yeah.
deny that.
Oh, well, at least they got it for free.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
try to do that as a student
They
these
should
days.
be thanking us. I'm expecting my reimbursement in the form of subscriptions eventually.
That's right. That's right. If they didn't get you through ASCAP, they'll get you through this,
Exactly.
or BMI, as far as that goes. So, did you always want to be a singer?
Yeah, from honestly pretty early childhood, I
Mm.
was always singing. My mom would quiz me on radios in the car to
Mm-hmm.
be like, "Who's this? Do you remember what song this is?" And things like
Oh,
that from as young as like 7 years old. So
neat. Yeah.
my mom, huge Monkees fan,
Yes.
was sure to make me a believer from the beginning.
Oh, my late sister was such a big Monkees fan. When the comeback happened in the '80s, she bought
Oh,
everything.
she was there.
Oh yeah,
She was there.
yeah,
And my mom made her own little made her own sweater, like painted the guitar-shaped logo
yeah,
on it,
yeah.
and
Yep, they
she
probably
was ready.
heck, she probably met my sister up one of the concerts, one or two. But
Honestly, I wouldn't put it past her.
yeah, that was something else, and they were very nice to my sister, and I appreciate that. But um, that's great that you had that kind of music background to lean on because it kind of gives you a appreciation for different types of music.
Yeah, absolutely. My parents have always done a really good job of introducing me to a variety of cultures and music and all of that, and just making sure that I have always had an open mind
Mm,
to trying to go outside of my comfort zone, try something new, listen
yeah.
to something new.
So I got to ask this because this happened absolutely to me when the um, pending adulthood started happening, and the voice moves slightly. Did you
Yes.
have trouble going from the kid voice to the adult voice?
I a little bit.
Yeah.
A little bit. I gotta be honest, I feel like because I had been doing singing and vocal practice and getting lessons for so long, I feel like I felt that break happening
Hmm.
and was able to work around it a lot quicker than I think some other people might have been able to.
Yeah. Yeah. It's
I feel I pretty naturally transitioned into my newer instrument,
yeah.
as you could say.
Basically, that's what it is. It's a new instrument, and it's a
Yeah.
new range. Um
Yeah, you get software updates,
exactly. It's Windows software
in that
updates for
first quarter,
yes.
yeah. Oh,
My
thank God this one wasn't written by AI. Oh my God.
well, I know back when the early 1900s when it happened for me, the I went from being the person who went out and sang in front of chorus to not being able to hit a note whatsoever.
Oh, no.
Yeah, I basically don't haven't hit a note on purpose since 1982. So,
Oh my
but
gosh. I had friends who were in the tenor section,
mhm.
and by the time we hit junior year of high school, they had to be moved to the baritone and to
Oh
the
yeah,
bass section.
oh yeah, yeah. Well, all the guys wanted to be basses. We don't want to be tenors.
Yeah,
We pretend we have low
some
voices.
people didn't quite have a choice.
Yeah, yeah, but they were the ones that got the solos. We-
That's true. That's true.
I'd just rather be in the background going bird as low as I possibly
Yeah,
can.
you gotta lay the bass down. You gotta lay that beat.
Yeah, when you get to the madrigal choirs and stuff, the bass has the best part.
Yeah, they have the
Boom,
fun bits.
boom. You can do that. You can
Yeah.
do that. You're all set. You just have to come up with a costume at that point. So you were able to did you go to school specifically for this? For or did you?
For voice,
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh, cool.
I actually, my intention going in was to be a vocal focus with a minor in music industry.
Oh.
Because I really enjoyed marketing of music.
Hmm.
Whenever a band puts out like a special release album or like special art for a vinyl or something, I always think that's so cool. Like what went into the research behind that, what
Yeah.
went into hiring the artists for that, how have other artists done that throughout the years in different ways.
Yeah. Yeah. But
Um,
that's definitely
it,
changed over the years by a long
it
shot.
really has.
Yeah.
It absolutely has. One of my current favorite bands, a little Midwestern punk band called Dury, recently won an award for packaging that they released for a cassette release of their album, where the cassette sits inside of a little openable N64 cartridge.
Oh my gosh. Yes. Oh, I want it.
It it's super cute, and they just came up with their latest design, which also got an award of a little punch out, like a big paper with a punch out of a VHS box of their new album.
Oh, excellent. Excellent. Yes. Uh, I'm growing up in the late 70s and early 80s and spending all of my money in the 80s on records. Um, and we had most of the time I spent was in Champaign, Illinois, which at the time was where Farm Aid was. We were getting bands all over the place.
Yeah.
We had one week in one of the places uptown on the main drag at the campus. In one week, the backing band in this one place was first Nirvana and then Smashing Pumpkins.
Oh my gosh, what
Yeah.
I wouldn't have given to be at that concert.
Yeah, and they were the backing bands. Of course, the
Right,
local.
they were the frontliners.
Yeah,
They were like,
yeah, because the local guys were, of course,
or
the main.
yeah.
So, I mean, but even the local guys, we had some nice local bands. It was fun. Every night of the week we go. But when we went to the record stores, uh, people would have their own releases on cassettes, and
Oh yes.
that was just like, oh, we've got an album out. Please go buy our cassette. $5.
That's yeah. How times have changed
Yeah.
because I just saw another band recently who instead of selling physical albums for like $15, they were selling keychains for $5 with a specially made art for the keychains,
Hmm.
and it opens up to reveal a QR code to directly download the album. And the keychain
Oh,
itself is only $5.
oh my gosh. Now that is primo marketing there. That really is.
Right?
That's
That way, like, you're not only listening to the album everywhere, now you're carrying it and showing it off with you all the time.
man, that's brilliant. That's really taking the times into account when you're
Right?
doing something like
That's
that.
the kind of functional marketing I'd love to bring to
Oh,
VTube.
well, it can happen. And I really think there's a couple ways to do it. I've kind of refrained from jumping in because I'm an old man and I'm coming from a radio, which is different marketing. But there's some things you can take over to
Oh
it.
yeah.
Especially when you're looking for types of audience. Should you be worried about this audience not showing up? No, because they don't like that type of streamer anyway, and they're not going to come watch it.
Right.
Yes, there's certain ways to do that. The old days, we would have people sending in at the radio stations just 45 RPM records, which nobody even knows what they are anymore, but that they recorded at home, hoping to get a little bit of airplay. And
Right.
that now radio stations don't get anything like that because nobody cares about them.
Right. Like it there was a time in especially like shit from the dawn of radio
Mhm.
to like the late 90s, early aughts, people were just recording mixtapes and sending them into local DJs,
Hmm.
trying to get radio play.
Yep.
Nowadays, you got stuff like SoundCloud.
Mm.
You can create your own pages. You can
Yep.
promo your own music on all these different websites.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's so much easier for people to find the niche
Yeah.
that they're looking for.
Absolutely. And you can target it and just bypass the middleman completely and that sort of
Right,
thing. And
absolutely.
but in the
So
old
people
days, in the old days, radio was the thing. You had to get on there
yeah.
and
Oh, yeah, there was a time where I really wanted to be a radio DJ because I thought it would be my foot in the door to the music industry.
oh, young person, maybe let me
Oh, how quickly that dream crumbled.
when you realize you were never going to pay any of your bills by getting a
Right,
radio.
yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
Well, the back in the first radio station I worked for, they had been on since the 30s. So
Oh gosh.
we had what we called a bomb shelter, which was above ground and wasn't going to stop any bombs. Plus, we were directly under the radio tower and would just crush us anyway. Um, but in that bomb shelter were promotional 45s and 78 RPM records that
Wow.
were from people like Frank Sinatra, people like Nat King Cole. I
Oh
found
my
Beatles and
gosh.
Janis Joplin and Jimi Hendrix back there. Just never played.
Just collecting dust.
Yeah, absolutely. I pulled out one. It's Nat King Cole's "Unforgettable," which if you don't know what it is, that's on your fault, not mine.
Oh, no, I'm aware of Nat King
Oh
Cole.
yeah,
Like
yeah.
I said,
I'm
I
talking.
was brought up with a
Yeah,
variety.
I'm talking to the listeners out there. I mean, they should know. I figured you know about it, but when I pulled it out, it was you could see through the vinyl.
Oh my
It was
god.
that pristine. And that always meant that the vinyl was pure, more pure, and back in the day. But it was so beautiful. Nothing had ever touched that record. And I'm like, oh my gosh, if I had the room to steal all these, and but that's how we would get records back in the day. And people would send the copies. If you find a copy of a Beatles record, a a 7-inch record from the Beatles that has a radio only label, you're going to make a mint.
I
Um,
would believe it.
yeah, and I only found like 2 of them back in there, but still, that would have been something. And that
For
was the big
real.
thing to get into at the time. Now you have to do it completely differently, but it's still marketing.
Yeah.
And yeah,
Yeah.
so now that you're into the VTuber field, have you been doing any singing with it?
You know, I haven't as much.
Yeah.
I have many little impromptu karaoke sessions.
Well, yeah.
Uh but I have not taken the time to do some dedicated singing.
Mm,
For me, I feel like my biggest hang up because I see all these VTubers doing covers, doing
yeah.
original music, and I'm like, dang, that's awesome. They have far more funding and
Yeah, some of them do.
and things like that. I do think my biggest personal hang up is backing tracks and finding proper like backing music
Yeah.
for the covers that I would like to do because I want to do it right and I don't want to use any AI in the production and I'd
Mm,
like to have real people behind the project as much as possible.
yeah, yeah,
And
I can understand that.
often, for the things that I try to plan ahead for, I start to realize, I might not have the devices or finances to fully do this on my own.
Yeah. Now there are a lot of folks who are really good mixers in the VTuber
Oh,
community,
yeah.
and they really do a great job. And those folks are like bass players in a band. Everybody that doesn't pay attention to them until they absolutely need them. Used to be if you played bass, you were in 6 or 7 bands at once.
Oh, yeah.
And you had to learn all those songs. But there's some really good ones out there. So I can name a few of them, but the that's part of it. But what type of music would you want to cover?
I'm I'm a big punk rock fan.
Yeah.
I grew up being pretty obsessed with Green Day,
Mm-hmm.
Blink-182. When I got into high school, Fall Out Boy was the new hotness, and I got super into them. And Paramore,
Mm-hmm.
and now there's more and more like femme-led punk bands coming out, which
Oh
is
yeah,
so good.
yeah.
Bands like Honey Revenge, Vanna, Alt Black Era is a really good like EDM punk group.
Mm-hmm.
There's so many things,
Yeah.
but I would probably want to do like some of like the like 90s punk songs that I grew up listening to. I would love to do a Basket Case by Green Day
Oh yeah,
cover.
yeah.
I'd love to do American Idiot. I'd
Right.
love to do a couple of like Blink-182 songs.
Yeah. When I was there for the first punk wave. I'm an old man. Um,
Yeah, you got some original like Ramones
and the
and
Dead
old
Kennedys
school
and
punk.
Sex Pistols and all that stuff. Yeah,
Yeah.
we had the albums back then. Um, and by the way, "Viva Las Vegas" by the Dead Kennedys is the best version.
So good.
Yes, it's absolutely perfect and should if it came out today, everybody would have a copy of it. But it's
I fully agree.
yeah, when it came out then, everybody's like, "Oh no, we can't possibly have that." Yeah, well, I did. Um, the when I heard Green Day, I'm like, "Oh, there's something different here." Um,
Right?
it brought me back to bands like the Jam, which is my favorite band probably of all time. Not Pearl Jam, but the British band, the Jam. Um, in those groups, I'm like, this is good. This is just three instruments and go.
Right? I'm a huge fan of that garage punk sound.
Mm, yeah,
Anything with like minimal instruments where you can just feel all the emotion and you can hear the framed posters rattling on the wall in the background. That's what I like.
that's perfect. That is absolutely perfect. Yep, you should if you get a chance to listen to some early Jam stuff. Um, they were out in the late '70s. Um, they were
Yeah, somehow this has completely missed my radar, and
yeah.
I'm like adding like links right now.
Yeah, Paul Weller was the front man for that group, and I got all their stuff. I was just all over them. And of course, in the United States, they were ignored. Thank you very much. Um,
Yeah,
so
it took us a while to figure out what was good.
yeah, well, we were still, Milli Vanilli-ing, so at that time. For you, getting this chance to go out and kind of, I mean, you've been in front of audiences before, you've had people following, but now you've got the possibility of a worldwide audience with this.
Hmm.
There really isn't a ceiling. Realistically, you're probably not going to get 1 million people every time you come on, but the possibilities are out there that just about anybody can tune in. Um, when you're on like this, how different is it than being up on stage performing?
You know, at first, the idea that, like you said, there's no real ceiling, like anyone can come in, kind of frightened me a little bit at first. But then I remembered that was the same mentality whenever I would perform a show in my bands. Like whenever I would do a concert at a little venue, a bigger venue, there was no telling who was going to show up, how many people were going to show up, what their attitude towards us was going to be like.
Mm-hmm.
And no matter what, we had to put on the best damn show of our lives.
Yep,
We had to make sure everybody was having a good time and that we were having a good time.
absolutely.
And I led with that mentality, and everything seemed to just kind of fall into place.
Yeah. Well, you watch, or you end up with the Blues Brothers at the Cowboy Bar.
Yeah,
Yeah,
with the chain link fence
yeah.
blocking all the bottles.
Move them out.
No,
We'll do,
no, move them out.
yeah, we'll do Rawhide. We know that one.
We'll do
Um,
Rawhide for the 5th time in a row.
that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love that movie too. Um, and that's one movie I've watched a million times, and I laugh every time. The the mentality of coming on and not seeing an audience, but
Mhm.
knowing that they're out there, is that a little freaky to you sometimes?
Sometimes it's a little intimidating, and a lot of times I will imagine it, as I'm sure you can imagine this, as my own little radio show.
Yes.
Like I've gotta be talking no matter who or who may not be listening, keeping things entertaining, if not for others, at least for myself.
hmm Yeah,
And
absolutely. You,
if I think it's funny, why wouldn't somebody else think it's funny?
that's a brilliant way to put it, because you have to be enjoying yourself for the audience to enjoy themselves.
Exactly. If you're not having a good time, it's so much harder for the audience to have a good time.
Yep.
Even in the moments with like streaming, there's a lot of big focus on like, ooh, those big rage moments from a streamer. But
Yeah.
at the end of the day, like the streamer's still like hamming it up to a
Yeah.
degree,
Oh yeah. I mean,
depending on the situation, unless you're just getting really tilted in one of those competitive
yeah.
shooters.
Oh, well, yeah. I mean, if you do it all the time, it's going to lose its
Oh,
luster. But
yeah.
yeah, but if you go on there and something just hits you between the eyes and everything just spills out, that's pretty funny. I mean,
Yeah,
you look back on that like,
absolutely. Those
I threw
moments
my
of getting
chair.
caught off guard.
It's like
Yeah.
Markiplier throwing his chair. That was pretty funny.
Right.
But you don't want him to do it, every time he's on.
Right, because then we're gonna ask, "Hey, Mark, you okay?"
You ain't gonna throw the chair yet? No, okay. It's that, and you got that reaction, I'm sure, on stage when you go out there and you've got to be in the entertaining mode for the audience to be entertained.
Yeah,
And if you come out there,
yeah.
you come there, oh man, I feel terrible. Then the audience is going like, oh, okay, well,
Yeah, if you're down in the dumps up on stage in front of everybody, it doesn't inspire everybody else to be like, "Woo, yeah!" And that's what you want.
yeah,
You want these to be moments of joy, moments of expression, entertainment. You want to feel as happy as they look up on stage.
oh yeah, yeah.
And that's what you try to project in those situations.
It
And what I've walked out in front of punk shows where everyone was just milling around. There was maybe 30 people in the room. And
uh,
what you do is you find those 5 or 6 people that are already paying attention and you play it up to them. And then you start looking at everybody else and giving them that same energy right back.
mhm.
And hopefully it becomes infectious.
Oh, yeah. It's hard to get a mosh pit going if everybody's crying.
That's what I'm saying. Nobody wants to be weeping in the pit.
Yeah. People are like, mosh pit? What's that? Look it up and wear some, elbow pads.
Oh my gosh, yeah. Nowadays, people in the pit get too aggressive. There's
Mm,
not. I've noticed that in recent years, shows where a pit will form,
mhm,
there is not enough punk camaraderie.
mhm.
The pit is an expression for everybody, and if you're going in there just to throw bows, you're gonna hurt somebody.
Oh yeah. You want to do that? Play basketball. I mean, yeah.
Exactly.
I mean, it's just you're just in there to,
Get back in the hockey rink.
yeah,
This is for us.
yeah. I mean, every once in a while you come up with a bloody something, but that's part of the thing,
That's part of the experience.
Yeah.
But you know what? You get knocked down, somebody picks you back up, you shake hands, and you get back to the circle.
That's right. That's what it is. It's not intentional.
Right,
Is the thing.
right. It's never intentional. But
Yeah.
some of these people, they're like throwing bows, they're kicking, no regard to who might be around them,
Mhm.
swinging themselves in full circles. So they end up hitting people on the edges and like accidentally drawing people in who were like, no, I'm good out here.
Yeah. And then they come in for the wrong reasons too, and then it gets worse,
Yep.
and then the police
Yep.
show up by the time it's
And then they
done.
gotta fight their way out.
Yeah, yeah. And you guys got to fight your way out. It becomes a movie by the time it's done.
It does.
Yeah.
It does.
Yeah. So, since you've been doing the streaming, have you been able to get some allies, some collaborations going?
Absolutely. I've made a really nice little group of friends so far.
Hmm.
I have friends from before I started VTubing who are also VTubing, that I've been friends with for years now, who've been amazingly helpful. I've made so many new friends. Saja Lily is a great one
Hmm.
that's been supporting me the past year or so. Rhaenyra is another really great non-binary streamer I hang out with a lot.
Hmm.
And we all support each other. We always hyping each other up, trying to give each other raids when we can, collabing with each other.
Hmm.
It's always a good time getting a bunch of goofballs together and playing something like Peak and stuff like that.
Oh yeah,
So
yeah. That Peak can be a punk game.
absolutely.
Just like I know that Repo definitely can be a punk game by the time you're done with it, and but it really can be. Now, um, being non-binary, has that been a problem for you on the internet? I mean,
Personally,
yeah.
Personally, no.
Mm,
I think VTubing allows me to express myself in a way
mm,
that I might not be ready to IRL,
mm,
but as I'm VTubing, I'm getting far more confident with myself in the real world. I'm expressing myself in other ways outside of that in my
yeah,
personal life.
yeah.
And as far as like my online community, I haven't personally received any hate, but I am fully aware and ready for whenever it does happen.
Well,
Uh,
you probably got a little bit being an entertainer before you come on. You probably have a little bit tougher skin.
oh yeah,
Yeah,
oh yeah. There's already a little bit of a layer built up there
yeah.
of F you, I do what I want. Like,
You can drop an F bomb. This believe me, I'm not just
all right,
18
cool.
plus.
Fuck you, I do what
Yeah, I'm
I
18 plus 18 plus 18 plus 6, so you can do whatever you want.
want.
We're well
Cool,
past that
cool,
at this point.
cool.
Um, the I was wondering about that because I know that people are able to present themselves the way they want to as their avatars, um, but you've got a different angle at this uh, because of your background. So I wanted to hear it from you. And every time somebody is able to express themselves comfortably as how they want to be shown to other people, I don't think that's anything but good.
Absolutely. Absolutely. When we're able to freely express ourselves and be allowed that freedom, be
Hmm.
allowed that space to get those inside thoughts outside, get those feelings out that in our personal lives, we often feel restricted from these things. We often feel like our environment might be holding us back if you're facing prejudice at home or in your community.
Right?
But having these outlets online, it's the most punk rock thing in the world. You get to shout your truth from the mountaintops, looking however you want. Like it's a new form of stitch clothing. Like
Yeah, it
you're putting the patchwork together yourself and telling the rest of the world, "Fuck you, this is who I am."
I love that. You should put that on a shirt and you put that in as merchandise. Oh, merchandise. Have you done that yet?
I am working on it. I
Yeah,
am working right now on some graphics for some merchandise.
yeah.
I have avenues at my disposal to create my own little storefront and
Cool.
everything.
Yeah,
And I will hopefully have that out by the summer, if not beforehand.
cool. Yeah. Imagine you thinking about marketing. You're going to be marketing here pretty soon. So
Oh yeah,
yeah.
oh yeah. And my parents are in the marketing supply business, so I have a little bit of an advantage
And
there.
there you go. There's nothing wrong with taking shortcuts.
I
That's
am taking advantage of the tools I have in front of me,
that's
and
exactly right.
everyone should do at least as much.
That's exactly right. That's exactly right. Now, voice acting. Have you
Yeah,
have you been able to make any inroads yet?
not as much as I would like to.
Mm,
I am very much a beginner in the voice acting field. Like I said, my background is mostly in performance vocals, singing, and things like that.
right.
And I am very much an amateur
Mm,
when it comes to the professional voice acting world. I have done a couple of paid things. They've been very little voiceovers here and there for different people's projects, whether it be just a little introduction, whether it be just a little noise redemption on this streamer's redemptions,
yeah.
little things like that.
Yeah.
But I am currently in the process of recording my demo and having a character demo available and having commercial demos right after that. So
That's excellent.
fingers crossed.
I love it when people still call them demo reels, even though
Oh yeah.
they don't know what the reels would have been. If
It's
they
not, yeah, I'm not putting that thing on a spool and put it in the can and sending it in.
Oh
No.
no, that was so horrible back then. And people,
I
you lose.
I am so happy I have the technology we have
Oh,
now for those kind of
we would
things.
have a commercial we would produce it at the radio station, and the person who bought the commercial would say, "Send it to these 5 stations." So now you just
Oh
add
my
it on email and
gosh.
go, and you don't lose anything. But back then,
Right.
you took the project, which was already wasn't first generation because you did it uh, um, manually, and you have to
Hmm.
dub that off onto tapes and then mail those tapes.
And anything could have happened
Oh,
between sending and
yeah.
destination
I
with
mean,
those
could
tapes.
have been lying on a magnet the whole time, and by the time you get it,
For real.
nothing on the tape. It happened more than once. Um,
Oh my gosh.
and that was just and editing was literally razor blade and tape.
Yeah.
Take a razor blade to your computer and see if that works. No, don't do that.
Yeah, no.
But it's I'm glad that technology is there for everybody because it's allowing a lot more people to do this. And we're
Absolutely.
hearing,
It's making performance, music, voiceover,
yeah,
all of that. It's making it far more accessible to a generation that might otherwise have never gotten the chance to flex those skills or
oh yeah,
talents
yeah.
that might have gone unnoticed otherwise.
Oh, absolutely. And me being like a vampire because I have no talent of my own, I live off the other people's talents. That's what radio people do. Um, but the fact is, we're hearing so much from, as you said, people who normally wouldn't have gotten that chance, and it's helping them expand as people too. A lot of people
Absolutely.
who are really, talked to a lot of people who were very um, non-social and didn't express themselves very much. But now VTubing has given them that opportunity to open up a little bit and become social, and that's carried over to personal life, like you said you did with kind of the non-binary thing. It's
Mhm.
great to see it's become a tool for people to better themselves or better their lives, not themselves. And make sure to
Yeah.
say that right, because bettering yourself is not a good thing to say, as far as I'm concerned.
I I think that for whatever reason individuals may have, we all have different things that hold us back from expressing ourselves in ways that we feel is so intrinsic to us.
Mhm.
And I think VTubing and kind of the internet in general can allow people that big finger quotations anonymity
Yeah,
that might give them a little more freedom of expression
yeah,
to get these things out and experiment a little
yeah.
with no real judgment.
Right now, it's a double-edged sword because
Oh yeah,
the
because you
criticism,
are exposing yourself
yeah,
to that judgment.
and
But
the criticism is also anonymous for the most part.
absolutely,
Yeah,
absolutely.
and
The if you're willing to put work out into the world, know that people will have commentary for it.
hmm
And that's something you need to be prepared for. That's
it,
people who have been in the industry for years and still seem not fully prepared for.
oh, absolutely, absolutely. But there's always going to be somebody out there who's a good enough wordsmith to find the alchemy to hit you right between the eyes with something that you weren't expecting, and it's
Yes.
going to cut you to the core. It's just going to happen. How you bounce back from that is the key. Sometimes you just got to
Mhm.
remember that they're just plain jealous.
Absolutely, and honestly, that is, like, 75% of the time.
Yeah, it is, and maybe and they just want to do what you can do, but they can't, or they're too scared to, or um, something else. They're just
Yeah.
and they're not. And people who are doing that aren't helping themselves. They're trying to make
No.
themselves better by pulling you down with them. Uh,
Exactly. They think that by lowering you, that they will somehow put themselves up a little bit higher.
mm,
But it's not that. If you think I'm doing a bad job and you think you can do better, do it.
mm,
Do
absolutely.
it. What's stopping you? This is the most accessible time, especially when it comes to VTubing.
Yeah.
Everything that is required of you to start being a VTuber
Yep.
is free outside of already having a microphone.
Yeah. Yeah. And there's
Uh,
some you don't some VTubing services you just need a phone.
Yeah.
And the Irium stuff is just you have a phone and you're on. It's the chance to express yourself. I hope people do that up. I think we're going to see that people say that the VTubers peaked. Maybe the start peaked, but more people are going to find out the entertainment value of it and are going to start tuning
Mhm.
in, and then maybe they'll try it. Some people are going to
I
go
think
going to stream once a month. Some people make money at it.
exactly. I think we are absolutely entering that era where VTubers will begin to be recognized as entertainers in their own right and
Mm-hmm.
influencers in their own right. We're already seeing VTubers having music videos shown at basketball games.
Yeah.
We have like one of the first VTubers as a Fortnite skin now.
Yes.
Like it's amazing how much we are becoming far more mainstream at a faster pace.
Yeah.
Hell, artists like Baby No Money are so excited to work with VTubers and
Yeah.
feature VTubers in their work.
Yes.
And that is exciting to me.
Absolutely, folks. There's nothing wrong with taking a little pride in what you're doing. I mean, don't overdo it, obviously, but if it's something you do and you're enjoying it, enjoy it, and tell everybody else to fuck off.
Absolutely.
You know,
Absolutely.
and it's just that's just. Well, you don't even have to tell them. Just tell them you're in your mind and just keep going. Just ignore them. They'll really hate it if you ignore them. They really
They're not
will.
worth the time.
No,
They're not worth that.
no. But you are definitely worth the time, folks. If you have not found out by now, this Canna Beth is a pretty special talent. You're going to
Oh, thank
enjoy
you.
listening to them and finding out what they're up to. We're going to have the links for everything we've been able to find in the description for the video, and absolutely have to talk to you again on this because I don't think we even touched most of the stuff I wanted to talk about.
I would be happy to be back on. This was a
Yeah,
lovely interview.
yeah, and just folks, this is the special one. Keep an eye on Canna Beth. Thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you so much for having me, Eric.
Thank you for listening to Eric Loy Interviews. Join us again next time when we talk to another member of the always interesting VTuber community.